Blessings, blessings. We've got lots of good stuff to talk about today. See who's all coming in to get some of this experience, some of this knowledge. Hey Shayla. Yay. Hey Tim. Hey Tamar. Tamar. Forgive me if I mispronounce names. And if you guys don't mind, as we kind of wait for some people to get in, could you please post where you're watching from? So if you don't want to say your exact city, maybe California. I know I do have at least one person in Belize that sometimes watches. So if you can say where you're watching from, that would be great as we get started. I'm going to start off with what I drink on a regular basis. What I've researched and find that works for me, and it may work for you too. So, hey Patrick, hey, I think it's Aaliyah. Thank you all for tuning in. We're gonna get started. Today we're gonna talk about Black Strap Molasses. We are going to talk about Bee Pollen. We are going to talk about lemon, and we are going to talk about ginger. And we're also gonna talk about herb-infused cannabis coconut oil. I'm going to talk about these things today. And as a fun feature, some of you have watched me open a jackfruit in the past. We're going to open another one today. Okay, so we're going to look at that. This has become my favorite. I cycled, how many miles was that? I think it was 11 miles, I think it was. Cycling to Velarta from the west side all the way to Clinton and 99. It was a great cycle, great exercise. I put this on there along with the seeded watermelon. Oh boy, that was some exercise getting back home. So, all right, so let's go ahead and just get started. We've got a couple of people in. 111, yes. A matter of fact, speaking about that, it was raining one day, and one of my good friends, matter of fact, he's like my best friend, John Sears, he went with me so that I could go out and photograph without having to be worried about somebody trying to do something stupid, so I'm very thankful. But we ended up at this spot, little DB3 thing going on here. We ended up at this spot, and I'm taking the picture, right, and I'm not even like paying attention to numbers. When I'm photographing, it's all about creativity, and I'm not trying to add things, or I'm just trying to catch. This is actually the fax bus going by. But one of the things, let me see, where is it at? Okay, it's on this side right here. One of the things, after I got home and started editing it, it was, I hope you guys can see that. It was 111. So I thought that was so interesting that happened that day. So yeah, very fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. What a morning routine that I've been really horrible about sticking to. So I get when people are trying to do something new and then, maybe you fall off. What's important is to get back on, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So Black Strap Molasses. And thanks to my cousin Valerie, who's always encouraging me to share the benefits, we're going to do that today. We're going to talk about Black Strap Molasses first. And I emailed myself some links, so if you want some links to any of this information, hit my inbox and I will send them to you, okay? All right, so fibroids. Guys, you guys don't have to deal with this, thank goodness, but as women, if we have a womb, at some point you might hear of it, either someone you know has it, or like myself, I ended up with them and they were horrible to deal with. And a lot of it was because of the way I was eating. So I did some research, and Black Strap Molasses will help. I'll send this link, but the link basically talks about where it comes from. But I'm just going to go over something. It's a diabetes-friendly sweetener, so you probably, if you feel like you have to have a sweetener, you might want to use this. It's a bone booster. Athletes, you're out there, you're pushing your body, you want to be the best. The only way an athlete will be their optimum best is what they put in their body, period. Because you can be great little, you can be great junior high, you might even be greatest at high school, but once you hit that college and you're still playing, that's when those injuries are going to start coming in, and it has a lot to do with what you're putting in your body. So definitely Black Strap Molasses for that. No cow titty juice. They're lying. The dairy industry ought to be sued for lying to people, telling them that the milk does your body good. It does not. That is just a flat out lie so that money can continue to flow for capitalists. It's good for the blood. It's packed with potassium. Oh, it's a hair diffuser. I didn't know that. And it also helps with shrinking of fibroids, okay? And that was one of the reasons why I got into it, was because of mine. Let's see. Fibroids, but let's talk about this one. It has lots of minerals in it too. So this is basically, you know, the best way to take it. And I'm going to take some to show you guys. Okay, so what I normally do though is I normally will take my canna oil first. All this is coconut oil, herb infused. That's all it is. There's nothing extra, nothing lacking. As a matter of fact, I'll show you guys later. We're just gonna do this for now. So first, sorry. let me first get my water, because I like to chase it. It's, you know, it's got some strong flavors, and if you're like someone who can, you know, if you taste something and it's not good with your palate, you may not like it. So I like to chase it. I'm just pouring in here some. Squeeze your fresh lemons. By the way, ladies, men, whoever, anybody who's trying to get off of chemicals like underarm deodorants, when you start to eat healthy, your body smell will change, okay? So know that first. And especially if you eliminate dairy. Dairy will make your body stink, period. So after you juice your lemon, because you're doing this on a daily basis, you can just put them on your underarms, and that will help control the smell and control everything. So, but again, it's a transition. So as you clean up your eating, a lot of those toxins are going to go away. You're not going to have so much a bad smell like you normally would if you were eating dead flesh and dairy. Okay, so there's a whole lemon in here. The other thing I add to this, because some people will see my water and be like, what has she got it floating in her water? I have ginger floating in my water. Ginger is really good, and I'm going to see if I can pull up about ginger. Let's see, and ginger. Okay, if you're pregnant and you're experiencing where you can't keep your food down, get some ginger. I do not know why, for the life of me, and I'm going to be on my soapbox right here, I do not know why these doctors do not encourage pregnant mommies to take ginger. The only thing that connects with that is that they are getting a kickback from the pharmaceutical companies. And let me tell you, that's complete bullshit. Why? Because I have a grandson, Tevin, who is amazing. I love Tevin. And my son, Terrence, does a great job with him. But one of the things that was going on with Tevin's mommy when she was pregnant was that she could not hold nothing down. And by the way, ladies, when that is happening, that means that whatever you're smelling or whatever you're eating is toxic to the baby. And so that's why it's the body's natural thing to get it out, okay? So you might want to evaluate what you're eating, but on top of that, get you some ginger. And it's really simple. You can make a tea out of it. When I go on trips, I'll take ginger with me. If I'm starting to feel sick from motion sickness, take a bite. But again, the doctor gave her a prescription drug to help her keep her food down. I'm a big advocate of cannabis, and Tevin is why. I'm a big advocate of food. Tevin is why. And myself too, my own health experiences. But anyways, this doctor encouraged a medicine to keep her food down, and after I did some research, it's actually a medicine for chemo patients. So it wasn't even designed for women who are creating a human being, which is just, to me, I don't know how they get away with it, but that's, you know, they do. So I'm here to combat that so that you can go ahead and say, hey, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to go ahead and to go back to nature, go back to God, go back to what was actually given to us, and ginger is one of those things. So you can take your ginger, you can just take a grater. If you have a juicer, beautiful, juice it, then you don't have to see any floaties in your water, right? But if you don't, like me, I don't have one yet, use a grater, and then you'll just go ahead and grate it up. Grate it up as much as you want. I like lots of ginger. Oh, by the way, Tower Blends has ginger shots. So if you ever want to just, you're out in the tower, you're shopping, you want to go somewhere and get something healthy, get Tower Blends. They have ginger shots there. But for your own home thing, do this, all right? So you'll see that, oh, I think this light won't let me see. Okay, there we go. I think I have to do something like this. No. You can see the ginger on there, right? So then you can just scrape that into there. All right, and then we added the lemon already. And I like spring water, so if you, spring water, everyone knows this. So sometimes people will offer water and it may not be spring water, and I may, I'll take it because they're being loving, they don't know, but I really enjoy spring water, that's my favorite. So you'll just fill up your water bottle. This is a glass one. I do have plastic ones, but I'm trying to get away from using the plastic, okay? All right, so you can see that's kind of floating in there. All that is lemon. You saw me do it. It's just lemon and ginger. Okay, so for those people that want to grow your hair, right here, this will do it. The lemon, you can do your research on lemon. Let's just see, see if I can pull it. This takes too long. I'm just gonna post these links later. Lemon benefits, it's got a lemon. Lemon is great for your skin. It's great for your immunity. Ginger is great for that too. Oh, it supports weight loss. Yay for that, because I'm trying to get even better for Carol White's Damien Escobar event. So it does support weight loss, so that's wonderful. Good source of vitamin C. Improves your skin quality. Aids in digestion, so it helps with that. Freshens breath, wonderful. Helps prevent kidney stones, so anybody's having those issues. And then it talks about making lemon water. So there's all kinds of information. You got your phone, you can Google it and find out. Okay, so where's my lid? There it is. All right, so let's go ahead and start off. I start off with my oil because the Black Strap Molasses will stick to the spoon, and if you just do it with the oil first, it'll be better. So I start off with a teaspoon of this. When I had my tumor, this was the only way I could survive during the day. This was the only way I could actually do my photo shoots, was taking this. Now I'm just wanting to maintain my health, so I do it still. So take a teaspoon. Chase it. That's simple. Actually, I taste this. I don't even taste this, okay? So if you have an issue with coconut oil, you can do that. Next thing I do is I'll take my Black Strap Molasses. I get mine at Whole Foods. It's about $6, $7. Okay, so it is an investment, but I don't care because I'm not waiting at the doctor's office. I don't have to go to the doctor. I'm doing pretty well, so that has a lot to do with what I'm putting in my body. All right, so then you just take, let me see if I can show you guys that. You just take the Black Strap. Now, if you are low in iron, this is gonna be the thing. This even actually helps with fertility. So, but again, people are just so caught up. I now believe that the reason why pills were designed is because people are too sensitive when it comes to taste. So like, oh, I don't want to taste that, that's nasty, whatever. So then that's when these, capitalists make these pills because nobody wants to, take the time to adjust their palate to be able to take these things that are good for us. All right, so Black Strap Molasses. All right, hold on. It's very, very sweet and it's very, very thick, okay? But I do it once a day. If you have fibroids, you probably want to do this at least twice a day, once when you get up, and in the evening, go get your ultrasound, do what the doctors are asking you to do, tell the doctors you're working on maybe a plant-based lifestyle, start taking this, and then maybe follow up to see if it's helping. For me, when I went back for my last MRI before I had my surgery, my fibroids actually hadn't grown. The only thing that was growing was the tumor. So Yeah, it does work. It does work. So it's one thing you can do. The next thing we're going to talk about really quick, because I want to get into this jackfruit sliding. Has anybody went and got themselves a jackfruit and started slicing it up themselves? Has anybody done that? I'm wondering. I don't know. If you have, share your experience. I would love to hear. Okay, so let's go into, what did I say? Bee pollen. Bee pollen. I don't know if you can see that. You see all those granules in there? All right. So word of caution on bee pollen. Take 1 or 2 granules. That means, you see how many are in here? Not 1 or 2 teaspoons, because that would be probably deadly if you're allergic. 1 or 2 granules, just 2 little ones. Take that. If you're good with that, increase it. If you're good with that, increase it. But do not, what some people have done is they get this and they think, oh my goodness, they're so small, I need a whole bunch. And they take, a tablespoon, and that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay, just a little bit. This will last you a long time. So let's talk about bee pollen. Let me go into that. Oops. Clicking the link here. Thank you everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. All I want to do is help us to educate ourselves, because we're not going to find this stuff on television, and some of us may be really wanting to transition, so I'm here to help you with that. Okay, top 10 health benefits of bee pollen. Okay, so approximately 4 granules, so just 4 little circles of these, only 4. Okay, oops, there we go. Only 4 of those. Carbs 40%, protein 35%, water 4 to 10%, fats 5%, other substances 5 to 15%. Let's go into it. It's a high antioxidant content, protects from free radicals and chronic diseases. So again, this is going to help you with the diseases. Let's keep going. It may lower heart disease risk factors like high blood lipids and cholesterol, so it helps with the heart. Keep going. It'll boost your liver function and protect your liver from toxic substances. I like to drink wine and crown apples. Well, I haven't been doing the crown apple, but crown, I like that too. So, but I am working on cutting all that back and actually eliminating it for only like every now and again, maybe. But anyways, the point is, we put our liver through a lot, so this will help with the liver. Okay, so very important. Several compounds with anti-inflammatory properties, so it has a bunch of compounds to help with that, and this link goes into that, and again, I'll share it with you if you hit my inbox. My inbox, by the way, I do not do online dating. I don't do it. I don't like it. I don't want nothing to do with it. But if you are interested in photography, if you are interested in food, I do not mind communicating with you, but I am not here to date anyone. Matter of fact, my journey right now, I'm not interested in I'm really embracing celibacy. And until I get to a point where the person with me is on the same journey level, because that's who they are, then maybe I'll be open to opening up to that. But my inbox is only for this type of health, so that we can build our people, and photography services, because that's my craft. And maybe you have something to share with me that's inspirational. Please share that. But I am not here for good morning text and all that other stuff. It's not for me anymore. Okay, so at one time it was, but not anymore. Okay. It may help you avoid illnesses by boosting immunity and killing bacteria. So this is going to help kill bacteria, which is really good. It may aid in wound healing and prevent infections. That's another one. It may have anti-cancer properties. And we know they have to say may, right? But a lot of times this stuff really does work. It may ease menopausal, okay, I can't say that word right. Anyways, pre-menopause or menopause symptoms like hot flashes. I hear a lot of ladies get hot flashes, and I'm 50 and 51, and really soon going to be 52. So I don't get hot flashes as much as I see other women around me getting them, and it could be because of the bee pollen and the other things that I do. It improves nutrient utilization, but I can't say this word right now, and longevity. Okay, your metabolism. There it is. Metabolism and longevity. Okay, it's safe for most people and easy to add to your diet, or add to your diet, not add to your diet. All right, it's also good for athletes. So those, again, the bones, protein, it does have protein. Okay, so let's just go ahead and I'll show you how I take that. I'll just get my hand. Now I've already tested myself. I already did the 1 or 2, and then this is about the amount I take now. So that's about the amount. I don't know if you can see that. I gotta figure out how to do that where you guys can see. No, that's not gonna work. But anyways, it's just a small little bit amount. I don't know, maybe 20 granules. But that's what I take. So I'm gonna take that. And that's it. You can do it more than once, but I usually just do this once in the morning. So that's my morning thing that I do. And I have found that, so canna oil, which is cannabis infused coconut oil, bee pollen, and Black Strap Molasses. Okay, so there are some vegans who are gonna say, oh my goodness, that's not vegan, they're real picky. Well, here's what I gotta say to you guys. It's from the plants, okay? So you could be picky about other people, or you can just pay attention to yourself. If you don't wanna do honey, you don't wanna do bee pollen, then don't do it. But to call other people not vegan because they don't do it is not right, because I think being vegan has a lot to do with just embracing the planet and embracing foods that help us. And if you are vegan and you're picking on somebody else because they're doing honey, but you're driving a car, there's something wrong there, right? Because the car is taking fossils from the earth. So we can be extreme, or we can just be balanced, and I prefer to be balanced. The only reason why I say vegan is because that's the only definition that tells people you're not doing dairy. Okay, so just for those people who are saying, well, I'll be honey and that's not vegan. Okay. All right, so we talked about our ginger. Let's go ahead and get into this jackfruit. Anybody got any questions? I'm looking right now. Anybody got any questions? Nope, no questions. Okay, super. Let's get started with this. So back to my grandson. I know I'm going to keep doing this, so thank you for those people who are patient and following along with me. Back to my grandson. So yeah, so that doctor gave her this chemo medicine, and all she had to do, and I wish I would have known, but I now know. So I'm hoping that this will save somebody else from taking some medicine while they're pregnant, because they have no other choice. They're really sick. My daughter-in-law at the time was extremely, extremely sick. So, you know, she did what she felt was best, and there's no animosity or anything wrong with that, because we have to do what we know is best. And Tevin is on this earth, and he's teaching us all so much. He's just amazing. He's so smart. Anyways, so she took the medicine, and Tevin came out with birth defects. And after doing research, those birth defects are in direct relation to that medication, in addition to when you're nutrient lacking, when you're not putting nutrients in your body and you're creating a baby, that's where cleft lip comes in, or cleft palate. And so Tevin had that too. One of his eyes didn't develop correctly. This all has to do with what's going on while the mommy is pregnant. All types of genetic testings was done. My son is healthy, she's healthy. So it had nothing to do with them coming together, but it did have a lot to do with the food that they were eating, and it has to do with that medication. And just, quite frankly, education. I didn't know about ginger, or I would have been making sure she had some ginger, or at least, you know, gave her that information. But I didn't know, and now you know. So if you're pregnant, or you know someone who's pregnant and they're having a hard time, encourage them to research ginger and take it over the pharmaceutical drugs, because you don't want to take that chance. In the doctor's world, I'm sure there's some correct terminology for that, but in the doctor's world, they are going to look out for the mother over the baby. So if the mom's having a hard time, she's going to be the main focus. And I'm a mom, and I know there's many moms out there. We want to do what's best for our children. So, you know, changing our eating habits is one way to do that. So, all right, so that's Tevin. He's amazing. I love him. He's taught us all so much. And my son, Terrence Vaughn, is doing a great job with him. Okay, so, jackfruit. I got this at Vallarta. You didn't hear me earlier. So one of the things, I'm putting gloves on because it's real sticky. I'm gonna see, where's my knife? Oh, my knife is back here. Woo. Go down. Okay. Coconut oil. So one of the things you'll want to do is you'll want to put some coconut oil on your knife, because again, it's very sticky. Okay, so you just oil up the knife really good. I wish I had my knife sharpener. I mean, not my knife, my daughter. She has a really good knife sharpener, but she has it with her. So I'm gonna make this work. Okay, think you can see everything? Yes. All right, here we go. Love you too. Like, love abundance for all of us. You know, this whole healing ourselves and eating better. Matter of fact, the other day my cousin came by and she had some of my food, and she calls me up later and she says, "Did you cook that in the herb oil?" I said, "No, I didn't. I didn't cook it with the herb oil because I'm running low." So I didn't. I just cooked it in my regular food. But because our bodies recognize good food, our cells recognize it. Our cells are jumping for joy every time we eat well. So, you know, I just want to encourage those people who are on this journey, who are making changes, make it happen each and every day. Okay, so let's cut this thing open. I just cut it in half. I've tried different ways, but the half way is the best. Sometimes I feel like this is what it would be like if you cut into like flesh, because it's so thick. Let's see. This one's looking okay. I guess I should start doing like more push-ups or something so my arms can be strong enough to do this. Okay, so this one's kind of not as ripe as I've opened up in the past. Matter of fact, I made a mistake one day and I just let it sit. In my house, I have a water cooler, so I don't have air conditioning, but I love it because my bill is low. So I really like my water cooler. It's just kind of when it hits those triple digits, that's where it can be challenging. But anyways, forgetting that, I had my jackfruit out, and whenever it starts to getting these dark spots, that's just when it's getting ripe. And if you can push them in, that's pretty good. But once they like really get dark and you just push and you just get juicy, that's when it's probably overripe. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're just gonna put this one on the side. I'm gonna go into, let me see, where can we do it? I'm wondering if I do this. I don't know if that works. There we go, yeah. Can you see it? All right, that's the jackfruit right there. Okay. All right, so what you'll do is you'll go in here. These are the seeds. You can't really see the seeds. Or no, these are the seeds. And you can boil or you can bake the seeds, but you don't want to eat the seeds as they are, okay? Because that could be poisonous. You'll want to definitely bake the seeds. All right, so for my athletes, this right here, if you're playing a game, You want to get you some jackfruit and cut it open, put them in some bags, take it with you to the game, and start chewing on this, because this is going to give you energy. This is going to protect your bones. This is going to help you with immunity. You're out there, you're banging up against people. You've got to give your body some fuel. It's amazing to me that people will go and get the best gas for their car, but then they'll turn around and get something off the 99-cent menu. That don't make no sense. But yeah, so it takes it. I like the way it tastes, but I feel like I should have let it sit a little bit longer. That's all, but it tastes good. I definitely should have let this sit a little longer. It's still kind of young. So when you pull the, I'm gonna turn the light off. Okay, so when you pull the pod out, there'll be a seed inside there. You see the seed? So you just, pop the seed out. Pop the seed out. And I'm probably going to boil those up today. And there it is again. Okay? Please clean, may I know the name of this fruit? Yes, this is jackfruit. Jackfruit. Very good for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull some out, and then I'll talk a little bit. I'm gonna take this glove off so I can talk a little bit about the jackfruit. Where can you find jackfruit? In Fresno, Vallarta. That's the only place I found it. I did see some of it at the cherry auction, but Vallarta for sure will keep it as long as it's in season. It'll be coming in, and I love it when I see people buying it. Okay, what was I doing? Gonna look at the benefits of jackfruit, right? Anti-cancer. So if you have a loved one and they've been told that they have cancer, the best thing that loved one can do, I'm just going to be 100 with you, the best thing they can do is go on a plant-based diet, get rid of meat, get rid of dairy, and start embracing foods like jackfruit. That's jackfruit. Lemon. They ought to be taking lemon and ginger every morning, like a tea, every morning, because ginger is an anti-cancer as well. So you wanna be thinking about that. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Look at some of the benefits. This is. Oh, she's doing something different. Hold on. Again, if you guys want to see some of these links, I'll post a few. But if you want more, you can hit my inbox, and I'll definitely send that to you. Okay, let's keep going. It's packed with nutrients. 1 cup of sliced fruit provides the following nutrients. So 1 cup of this fruit, raw, 155 calories, carbs 40 grams, fiber 3 grams, protein 3 grams, vitamin A 10% of the RDI, 18% of RDI, 11%, vitamin A 10, vitamin C 18%, riboflavin, 11%, probably saying that wrong, magnesium, 15%, potassium, 14%, copper, 15%, manganese, probably saying that wrong, 16%. So these are minerals that most of us are not getting in our food because we're eating cooked food all the time, and we're not taking in raw foods. So this would be good to, like I said, if you're an athlete, getting ready to play a game, you're already eating this, right? Because you're preparing before the game, and you want something to snack on. This would be it. Coaches, you too. You want clear mind. This is going to do it, because when you get hungry, it becomes a problem in our thinking. It may benefit blood sugar control. So for those people that are having those issues, it may protect against diseases. Jackfruit is high in a few powerful antioxidants that provide various health benefits, including a reduced risk of several diseases. It has vitamin C, There's some other stuff. Other health potential benefits: immune health, preventing skin problems. So if you have eczema, you might want to try doing the jackfruit. That may help with that. And then it goes into how to eat it and all this stuff. And it's good for your skin, weight loss, just all kinds of great things. So again, I could have waited, because if I would have waited, these would have been a little bit more orange, not so on the white side. So I probably, but I'm learning too. So I could have let this sit out for a little longer. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of taking these out, because they are a little harder, because usually when I pull these out, they come out easier than this. But they're still like stuck with a lot of the, because they haven't ripened as long. So they still got a lot of these around it to pull this out. Okay. Juicy fruit, the gum juicy fruit, jackfruit actually, juicy fruit got their flavoring from jackfruit. You can kind of taste juicy fruit, but it's not all the way there. But if you like juicy fruit, then you probably will love jackfruit. Okay, so yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this with cellophane, plastic wrap, cling wrap, and I'm gonna let it sit so to see if it'll start to ripen up. Because right now, the way it is, I could probably use it more for cooking at this stage, which is a better. I would probably get more from this than if I was to get a bunch of cans to get the same amount. But it will be tougher to take the pods out, because they are not as ripe as it could be. So in the past, when I've opened up, they've been really ripe, and when the riper they are, the sweeter they are. It's kind of like plantain. Okay, so if I cut up this plantain and cook it, it's not going to taste like banana. It's not going to be sweet. It's going to have more of a potato type. So it's the same thing with the jackfruit, is what I found. Okay, so heads up on that. So I would wait until your jackfruit, there's more black spots and they're softer, and then cut it open if you want that sweet from it. All right, so we're gonna cover this up, and I'm just gonna let it sit out. I'm not gonna put it in the refrigerator, so that it can ripen up a little bit more, hopefully. Again, it's all learning, right? All right, so we're gonna set that aside. The next thing I want to talk about really quick, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna talk to you about potatoes. Potatoes! I love potatoes. All right, what did you say, please? Okay, I already answered that question. All right, so shout out to Tamisha for posting her purple potato, or posting about her purple potatoes. These are purple potatoes. Difference, they're not purple sweet potato. This is purple sweet potato, and this is purple potato. Okay, I'm gonna cut them open. So let's go ahead and take a look at the difference. Alright, so purple potato. I really like these. If you can find them, right now they're at Smart and Final, but the stores don't usually carry them. But the inside of the purple potato is purple. Okay, purple potatoes. So you can make mashed potatoes out of this and spice up your plate so it doesn't look like, just regular white potatoes. Get you some purple potatoes. Okay, so that was our purple potato. Now let's go ahead and talk about the purple sweet potatoes. Alright, so purple sweet potatoes, it's exactly that. They're sweet, but not all of them are purple on the inside. Okay, so we have our purple sweet potato, so it's going to have a sweet flavor to it, and our purple potato, which is just going to be like mashed potatoes, so it's not sweet. Two different potatoes. Okay, Good for you, very good for you. These are better than, let's say, the white potatoes. So here I have a red potato that's not red anymore because of the cooking. I was watching MasterChef last night and they were talking about colors, and once they cook, they can, you know, instead of it being a reddish color, let's show you that. You know, this reddish color, cooking it will give it more of a brown color. Okay, so here we go with our red potato, which is just white in the inside. I love these too, but I find myself eating more of the sweet potato. And every now and then I'll have these because I'll buy a large quantity, and if people are looking to purchase some, you can hit me up and I'll be happy to share with you. I usually do it like $1 a sweet potato, and they're pretty large. They're pretty large. Okay, so, and that's just because they're not easy to get, and I have to cycle a long ways to get them. So your donation is very, very appreciated and thankfully accepted. Okay, so I'm gonna cook up some stuff with this a little later. Anybody have any questions about what we just saw? We talked about the jackfruit, we talked about bee pollen, we talked about black strap molasses. If you have fibroids, get started on the black strap molasses. If you are low in iron, get started on the black strap molasses. If you have menstrual cramps, that will help as well. A lot of our problems is just because we don't have the nutrients in our body, and the pain is telling us, hey, there's something going on. And if we're just, you know, getting high, because that does help get rid of the pain, or if we're just popping in pills, because that does help with the pain, we're not taking care of the issue. So the issue is lack of nutrients. That's the issue with cancer patients, lack of nutrients. So we gotta put that good into our body. Okay. Hi, Sister Joanna. I missed you. I was about to go live and show people your salsa, but we missed each other that morning, so unfortunately I couldn't share that with everyone. But thank you. Are purple potatoes okay for people with blood sugar issues? That is a good question. I would look that up, but they definitely have more nutrients than a white potato that's just full of starch. So I thought I did a thing on my on potatoes. Let me see if I did on potatoes. I'll be so happy if I did. Let's see. Jackfruit benefits, ginger. I thought I did. I guess I didn't. So I would just look it up. But what I found in my research, that the darker the food is, the better it is for us. For instance, the black strap molasses, after they process all that, then they turn it to white, but it starts off as the black strap molasses. So the darker your potato is, probably the healthier it is for you. All right? We'll have to look up some of that stuff. Anybody else have any questions? If not, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be in the Rasta kitchen today. For those people who viewed, and for those people who are going to view later, thank you, thank you. I love your feedback. Please share the video. You never know who it might help. And I'm just very appreciative for this journey of mine. And sometimes when we're going through things, we might think, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, I'm doing my best to not hurt people, to be good to people, so why is stuff happening to me? Sometimes things are happening because we need to learn the lesson. And when we learn the lesson, the best thing that we can do is share with others. Because knowledge is power, but wisdom is wonderful. Because the knowledge, sometimes people don't apply it. And if you are able to hear someone else tell you something that helped them and you apply it, then that's wisdom. That's wisdom, and wisdom is the best thing to have. So, yeah, so maybe all the stuff that I went through, including having a hysterectomy, which is horrid. It took me a year to really get over it, and I'm still emotionally bothered by it. But I know that I did what I could. They wanted to have me do that at the age of 30. I think it was I 30? I think I was 37 when they first wanted me to do it, and I didn't until I was 49. 49 or 50. No, 49. 49. So I went many years, but I had to deal with a lot of stuff. People don't know when you don't tell them about your issues, because it's a sensitive subject. People don't know what you're going through. So I feel like I'm thankful for that journey, because I can share what has helped me. Hey Valerie! So if you go back, you'll be able to see some of the stuff about Black Strap Molasses. I shared that with you too. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking care of yourselves. And love yourselves. So when you see me posting, I love myself, or love yourself, and it's CELLF. I'm spelling it purposely that way, because all those cells make us up. And once we start to love that part of our body, the external things will fall into place. They really will. I had a hard time with becoming, if you want to say, I had a hard time with being patient to align with somebody who is on the same frequency or higher than me. But that doesn't mean that we get rid of our friends, and that's something I had to learn too, and I'm really thankful for the lessons. And I'm thankful for the people who stuck around. So all right, thanks again everyone. Thank you, Shayla. I love your post. Keep up the good work, honey. Keep on your journey, and many blessings to you. Anaya, hey Anaya, I think that's Anaya, right? Anaya. Apologies if I'm saying your name's wrong. So anyways, you guys have a blessed Sunday fun day, family day, or whatever it is you choose to do, and love abundance to you. All right.